My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, once a master asked his disciples, "What? How do you know, or when will you know that the night is ended and the day has begun?" One of them said, "When in a distance you are able to see or identify the cow from the horse, then we can say, now the day is dawn." The master said, "No." And then another disciple said, "When from a distance you are able to identify mango tree from neem tree, then we can know that the night is ended and the day has begun." But the master said, "No." And then the disciples curiously asked, "Then how do you determine that it is day and the night is gone?" And the master explained to them, when you look at any man and see in his eyes the face of your brother and realize that he is your brother, then the night is gone, day has dawned. And or also, if you look at any woman at her face and able to see the face of your sister, then the night is gone and the day has dawned. My dear friends, today the gospel reading, we hear one of the lawyers come and ask Jesus, what is the greatest commandment in the law? There are many scholars who had divided whole law into the greatest and the lowest or the smallest commandment, but they had not determined what is the greatest command. And then Jesus is saying, quoting Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 5, "Love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." And second is, love your neighbor as yourself. Yes, it is so easy to love God because we do not see. But when it comes to the question of loving our neighbor, it's not so easy. And this loving God, loving neighbor is a shema for the Jew, because even a child from his or her childhood learns in by heart. It is called Shema. Before any prayer they begin, they would repeat this one. Everybody knew it. But then Jesus is again implying why this is the greatest command. Loving God. God is the first priority to love. Why it is not? It is the greatest commandment, not in order of time, but in order of importance, in order of dignity, in excellence, in intensity. It is so great. Loving God. Then the other second command will follow from the first. And loving your God. See, the word is very important. It indicates God is not something or somebody, or it's not an impersonal. But your means a relationship between you and God. A personal relationship. That is a God, not a impersonal God. Second thing, loving our neighbor. Neighbor, who is our neighbor in this context, our Jesus explains to him about the Good Samaritan. Neighbor, anyone who is in need. And then, how can you love unless you love yourself? So you love your neighbor as yourself. Do I love myself? Self-love. Self-love is not selfish love. Self-love is the natural love. Self-love is loving myself, my body, my mind, my family, my everything. So unless I love myself, I cannot love the other, because I am created in the image of God. So also the others are created in the image of God. Genesis chapter 1 verse 27. So my dear friends, come then, this is the very basis, the root of every religion, loving God and loving our neighbor. So let us try to become an agent of love, the ambassador of love. Everything that we say, everything we do, everything must reflect or out of love. Loving God, once we are rooted in that, naturally it will flow. loving others. So may God bless us so that this commandment be rooted in our heart and reflected in our ministry, in our relationship with others. May God bless all of us.